Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our first match with Blue-White Flash. So we are on the play. We won the die roll. So let's see. Okay, we don't have a very good hand. We have lots of white cards, and we drew the only non-white land that we have, one Abbey. So this is actually a very weak hand. We can play three of our cards without drawing a land, so it's not a dead hand, but we really need a second land. But I still think we can keep it because we have interaction, we have good creatures because of the always watching that will make these creatures even better. So yeah, we will keep. We will try to play Traven Inspector, and then if we manage to draw another white land, okay, we change our plan, play Copter first, and hope the Copter can help us to draw the third land. From what I see, I think we are playing against a control deck. Okay, so yeah, I think it's some kind of blue-red spells. To be honest, I hate playing against control. But let's see. So we play the Selfless Spirit and try to dig for our third land. So we will ditch the Skywhaler shot here, because Static Snare and Declaration in Stone can actually kill Thing in the Ice as it comes down, but I don't think Skywhaler shot. With Skywhaler shot we need to wait for the Thing in the Ice to actually transform so we can kill it. So I think it's the worst between those two, but pretty close. So we really need our third land. If we manage to draw a white land on untap one, that will be very good because we can have a open Spell Queller. So he kills the Selfless Spirit, so he can actually kill the Copter now. Okay. You see, that's good because we ditch the Skywhaler shot and keep the other removal. So we'll try to play Traven Inspector and find a white for Declaration in Stone, the Alchemist. So let's crew the Copter, attack, finger crossed, white land. Okay, it is a white land, but not the good white land. Still, we'll ditch this and play our land. Still good, we managed to find our land. I don't know, to be honest, if we are in a good position or not, but we have some board, some okay cards. I mean, Spell Queller, I don't think it's very good, but it's still okay. I don't know this version of the blue-red spells with the Thermo Alchemist, but I think it's more of a burn, so that's good for us. If he points the burn at us, that means we can attack with Smuggler Copter because we can protect it with Spell Queller. The idea is, do we play Always Watching or keep for the Spell Queller? The good point of the Always Watching is that I don't think there is a spell that can kill the Copter as a 4/4. only if he plays lightning axe, that it's possible, because from what I see here, he can play. But I think it will be better for us to play the spell queller and then play always watching and attack for more damage. So let's try to attack with the copter first. We will leave the Thermal Alchemist alone. We will not use our removal yet. We need to have some board presence because we are not afraid dying by burn, because I think we will be able to... Okay, this is even better. Now I don't know what to discard, to be honest. I really need to keep the land so we can play Gideon or big spells if we draw something. But all our spells are good. Declaration in Stone, I think it's the weakest one now, because I can deal with Thermal Alchemist using Reflector Mage and without providing him with a clue, and I still have a removal. So yeah, I will ditch the Declaration in Stone then. So the idea is, do I play the Reflector Mage or keep mana open for the Spell Queller? The idea is that I can keep the mana for the Spell Queller and not leave him play a Harness by Lightning on my Copter. But Reflector Mage looks good too, because I have the Always Watching to make it big. So yeah, let's try to play the Reflector Mage. Get rid of the Thermal Alchemist. Let's see the spell. Negate or Revolutionary. Okay. This is actually not so bad. You see, it's hard to play against a deck that you don't know what are all the spells that they have. I mean, blue-red burn was a deck before this standard, but now this is not so popular, so you are not expecting for him to play unsubstantiate. Because if we were thinking about that, we could play around by playing our Reflector Mage. But now he will try to burn us. But I'm pretty sure we can be faster than him. So let's think a little bit before playing. We can play Reflector Mage on the Thermal Alchemist. I don't think that there is anything for one blue that he can do. The best he can do is play a blue land, attack with Wandering Fumarole. The idea is that I can attack him for 4, putting him to 7. And then if I play Always Watching, I can attack him for 5, 3, 8. So that will be lethal. So I don't need to attack with Raven Inspector. It will be enough for me to attack with Smuggler Copter. Then keep the Mage back for block. Let's say he can animate the Wandering Fumarole and then try to attack for lethal. And if manage to draw like a Selfless Spirit or something, that will be good too. So yeah, I will Reflector Mage the Thermal Alchemist. So now the idea is that I don't want to block with the Reflector Mage the Wandering Fumarole, because I want to keep the Reflector Mage to attack for lethal next turn. but it's strange because I don't want to block with Raven Inspector 2 because then I will not have lethal with Copter. So the idea is that I will not block, so the best thing to do then is to attack with Raven Inspector and Smuggler Copter, because I will not block, because I will need a Raven Inspector for crew. So that's not good. He had the kill for the Copter. I forgot to think about Galvanic Bombardment. Still he has 3 cards in hand. I think we are ahead. I mean, we know 1 card. So it can only have 1 bird, and we can easily keep the Spell Queller for the Thermo Alchemist. Okay, good. So he only has one card, and that is Thermo Alchemist. So I can Spell Queller that and then use the Always Watching. So it's set. I will attack first. Okay, so I will Queller that. I don't care if he has a removal for the Spell Queller, because that's okay, because then I can Reflector Mage the Thermo Alchemist. So now it's pretty good. He can attack with Wandering Fumerer, but we will play Always Watching, or we can play Selfless Spirit so we can be protected against a burn spell. So let's say he can draw Galvanic Bombardment or something. He can kill the Spell Queller, and let's say attack with Wandering Fumerer. We can block here because we play the Always Watching, and then we can replay the Selfless Spirit and Spell Queller. So, or we can play the Reflector Mage for the Thermo Alchemist. If we play the Selfless Spirit and he has a removal, we can sack the Selfless Spirit, but we cannot attack because he can then attack us for 4. So yeah, I think the Always Watching, it's actually pretty good now, because we can attack for 5. Our creatures are very big now. It's harder for him to kill the Spell Queller. Like a Torment, Fiery Temper doesn't work now. His only chance is like drawing another Lightning Axe or something. And if he doesn't kill us now, we will gonna win. Okay, now, so is there a spell to kill us if we don't block? Yeah, this was actually a good play, because he can kill the Spell Queller if I block. If no, I take 4, and I need to be very careful about other spells he can draw. Like, can he give 4 to me if I don't block? I'm pretty sure he can't, and I can protect myself by having a Spell Queller for his next spell. And if I draw a land, I can even play Selfless Spirit and keep the Spell Queller. So yeah, I will not block. Very close game. Our opponent played well, I think. This was a good play, leaving me the option to block or not, so I can make a mistake. If I block, I think the opponent still had a chance. But now you see, I draw the land. I can play Selfless Spirit to protect my creature, and I still have the spell queller. So all I need now is to block the Wandering Fumerer, and I can win after. Fever Vision. Yeah, I think I need to queller this because he can draw a spell at the end of the turn, and then maybe it's a burn spell, so I can still win even through a burn spell, but why not queller this? It's easier. As you can see, always watching was actually very good. Good technology by the Duke, I think. We already have good creatures, but with always watching, they are pretty awesome. It's like a Gideon Ultimate. It's even better because it gives you vigilance too. So yeah, pretty good card. So we won. Let's see what we can do as sideboard. So it is a burn deck using Fever Vision. So Planeswalkers are not so good because they are easily killed by Fever Vision, from what I know. So we need something to do against that. He has lots of removal, so I don't think Gisela is actually pretty good because he dies to everything. So best I can do is, I don't know if I should bring Dovian Ban or not. The idea is that the first ability actually doesn't allow you to activate abilities, so it's good against Thermal Alchemist and it gives me some life. So yeah, I will try this. I'm pretty sure I remove Gideon and Jace. I'm not very sure against Gideon because it's a good clock, so maybe it's bad. We can remove the Skyweller shot. There is nothing we can kill. Declaration in Stone is actually okay. I will keep the Always Watching. Statisner, I don't know if I need so many removals. I don't know how many creatures he has, but I still have the Reflector Mage for the Thermal Alchemist, so I will cut a Statisner too. So then I can have this and the Reflector Mage as a removal for the creatures he has. So I can bring 5 cards. I'm definitely going to bring in Negate and then maybe some Void Shatter to counter something, and then I can bring another card. Blessed Alliance seems okay because gives me 4 life, but I don't think there is something that he has to attack, so I'm not sure about it. Let's see after this match if I see some creatures I will bring Blessed Alliance or not, but for now I don't know, so I will bring Gisela. I don't think it's very good, but he has lifelink and maybe he can survive for a turn, so let's try like this. Because we have the Selfless Spirit to protect Gisela, so we will try like this. Okay, horrible hand. No white mana. We cannot play any spell, so we will mulligan this. Okay, this is not a better hand, but we still have a 2-drop, and if we drew our third land, we have a good removal, some counter. So yeah, we can work with this Traven Inspector. I think it's a good draw because we can play 1-drop, 2-drop and try to find our third land using the Clue or the Smuggler Copter. So we play Port Town. We want our lands to be untapped on turn 3, so we cannot play Plains and then draw another Port Town or something. So we will play a Traven Inspector first. Okay. Yeah, so we see the Thermal Alchemist. Okay. So now we have some options. We can play Copter and Selfless Spirit. I don't think there is any doubt. We should definitely play the Smuggler Copter. I don't know if I did a very good sideboard by removing some removal and not have more removal against Thermo Alchemist, because I think this is the card that will help him give me the damage, because rather than that I don't think there is any, I don't think if he can have enough burn without this. So this is actually very good. We managed to draw the land. I shouldn't play it. I should play Selfless Spirit, see the loot first, and then play the land. Now my only dilemma is, should I play the Selfless Spirit, attack for 3, and then waste 1 mana? He can have another Galvanic Bombardment that will actually kill my Smuggler Copter and give me another damage. So let's try to play safe and use all the mana. Of course I will lose a loot, but that's okay. So I will try to play the Static Snare, not giving him another damage. By doing this on his turn, I will try to do it on my turn. Plus he plays blue mana, so he can have a negate or something, so it's safer for us to remove the Thermo Alchemist now. Okay, so we are lucky there is no third land, so our opponent has lots of removal in the hand, I think. So the idea is that I can play Selfless Spirit, he can kill the Selfless Spirit, and then we can bash with our Copter. Or I can be a little bit smart, our opponent is behind, I can play Always Watching, and then if I play the Selfless Spirit, yeah, he will not, the Selfless Spirit will still not survive. I was thinking about the Copter being a 4/4, so he will not be able to kill with a Galvanic Bombardment, but I'm pretty sure he has something else. So let's play the Selfless Spirit and try to ditch one of the Void Shatter or find a blue land, because we cannot play Void Shatter. As you can see now, the problem playing a counter with 2 blue, I think it's better to play a counter with only 1 blue. So yeah, he has the Unsubstantiate. I don't think that's very bad for us, because we already managed to play a threat on the board. I didn't sacrifice it because I don't care too much about the graveyard. Okay. So the idea is that we don't want to keep Void Shatter for counter. We can play 2 spells like Smuggler Copter and Crack the Clue. Plus we can keep 2 mana to bluff a Revolutionary Rebuff. So yeah, we are pretty lucky our opponent didn't draw the third land. But we actually drew pretty poor ourselves too. So let's play the Always Watching in the negate. Okay, no negate. The game is not over yet. Our opponent can still come back from this. We are not so far ahead, because we didn't manage to draw any creature to crew the Copter, and we had lots of lands and counter spells. Yeah, we will definitely counter this. We don't want any Fever Vision, because that's the way our opponent can actually come back. We will not play the island. We really need to dig, so we need to have something to put in the graveyard when we make the dig. So we will keep the mana for the Void Shatter, but not play the land. Now, because our opponent managed to come back from the problem with the land, I think we are actually pretty behind. He can attack us for 4, nothing for us to do. We really need to draw a creature. Any creature will be good. We have the Copters that will help us to dig more. So yeah, we will keep the lands. Maybe he thinks we have a static snare for the fumarole and will not activate the fumarole. Okay. The idea is that we want to counter something else, but if we don't counter the Stormcaster Mage and we don't draw a removal, we will be even more behind, so we really need to counter this. We will try to counter this. If he doesn't have a negate himself, so no negate. So now we are pretty behind because of all the lands we draw and gave the opponent the time to actually play something. So we draw a creature. It's actually a good one. I hope he will activate the fumarole now. Okay, we will queller this. And now, as you can see, this is a 3/4. He cannot be killed by a galvanic blast or an incendiary flow. And I think this is pretty good for us. He needs to spend like 2 cards. And if he spends 2 cards, I think we are okay. So he ditch a galvanic bombardment and use the lightning axe just to kill the spell queller. Yeah, he will draw a card, but we will draw a card too. Now we should play our land because we don't want to have 4 cards in our hand. Yeah, let's hope we can draw an Avacyn or something with a Fever Vision. Okay, lots of lands. This was a very strange game. We draw all our lands and our opponent managed to actually come back. This is a good example with blue-white flash. It's not very good playing from behind. I think we are pretty behind now. And we got lucky to draw more lands. Now I'm silly because I didn't play my lands and keep it in the hand, so I will die to Fever Vision. Okay, at least I managed to draw a Spell Queller. I don't see how we can win this game. Maybe if we got lucky and our opponent draws only blanks. Or maybe he can activate the Fumarole so we can block. I don't know, but I think the win definitely needs to start with us drawing an Archangel Avacyn. Yeah. Let's see if we can trick him to kill the Copter with the Collecting Defiance. Does he kill the Copter or not? No, it doesn't kill the Copter. Okay. More lands, exactly what we need. I think pretty good. So now I think we should concede. There is nothing we can do. Yeah, and we are dead now. Any spell for him, even attacking with a funeral will be okay. So yeah, interesting game. Definitely we started okay, but then drew all our hand. So I'm not sure if we should bring the Fragmentize, but we definitely should bring the Blessed Alliance. We saw the Mage, so this can actually be okay and provide us with 4 life. Dovian Ban, I think it's still okay. Gisela, not sure. I will remove the Declaration in Stone. Not good. Selfless Spirit, pretty good. And I think Void Shatter, it's not so good now. He already knows that we have the Void Shatter, so he will play around it, so that it's an advantage that we can have. So we can actually remove the Void Shatter, and he will play around Void Shatter and bring some Gideon, so we can be more aggressive. So we are more aggressive now. Let's remove the Dovian Ban, because we are on the play. We want to be more aggressive, kill him very fast, and remove the counter so he can play around. I don't want to bring Fragmentize against Fever Vision, because the Fever Vision was not the card that won the game. Let's try like this. Start first. Again, horrible hand. As you saw, we mulligan a lot with this deck. I don't know why, maybe I'm not lucky or something. But yeah, this is not a good hand too, but at least it's a keepable hand. I have 2 spells to play with the mana if I don't draw the third land. The lands are horrible because they all came in play tapped, but still I can keep the hand. I put the Statisner on the bottom, play the Prairie Stream. So if you are lucky to draw a Plains or something, an untapped land, that will be nice, cool. So now we can rebuff the Thermo Alchemist and then keep the mana negate for the Fever Vision. As you can see, as planned, I can rebuff the Thermo Alchemist. So now I can keep the mana for the Fever Vision or play the Copter. It's actually pretty nice to negate the Fever Vision, but I think the Copter will actually win us the game, because if he plays another Thermo, that will be pretty awesome for us, because we will Reflector Mage and attack with Copter. So I think it's better for us to play the Copter and keep the mana for negate next turn if he doesn't play a creature. If I think, okay, so he had the Fever Vision. Sorry guys, I missed. I clicked go without playing something. It's a shortcut mistake. I should. Oh, that was horrible for me. I clicked go without playing my land and everything, so now we are again behind. But we are lucky that we can negate the Tormenting Voice. So yeah, we will play the Salia, attack with Copter. See if we can find an untapped land or something. Okay, so we ditch one of these. From what I saw, creatures are better than removal against this deck, so we will ditch the Statisner. Play this. Take 2. The idea is that we can play Reflector Mage on any creature, or we can play Gisela. I think we can recover from this depending on how the draws for our opponent is. Not playing a land and making the big mistake like last turn of not playing anything and pressing the wrong key on the keyboard was bad, but still managing to negate the Tormenting Voice was good, I think so. We are still in good shape. I don't think Gisela will be long for this world, because our opponent has lots of removal against this. So what we really want is to draw more lands, so we can play 2 threats in a turn, like playing a Reflector Mage and keep mana for Archangel Avacyn. This is pretty good. We can play Avacyn and Gisela. So let's try like this. Gisela cannot be killed by a galvanic bombardment, neither the copter, so that's okay. We will try to see what we can draw. Okay, we'll ditch the prayer stream. Play the land. So we are behind now, but if the opponent doesn't kill the Gisela right now and try to get fancy, we can attack and protect the Gisela with Archangel Avacyn. I think that will be actually very good for us, but if he has the removal, I don't know what we can do. We can play the Reflector Mage and then keep the Spell Queller to protect ourselves against a burn or something. Still, he kills the Gisela, of course, as expected. Maybe he can play a creature that will be good for us. No luck. So now we are actually behind again. Our opponent has 4 cards. We really need to... Let's play our land because we want to keep the Queller if he has a spell. So let's hope he plays a spell so I can Queller, so I cannot take... Yes. I'm definitely ditching the Smuggler Copter. I will not have time to play it. But the Traven Inspector will be nice for me because I can play it. So the idea now is that if I keep the Spell Queller in hand to Queller something, I will take 2, go to 3 and die to any spell. If I play Traven Inspector, I will not take 2, but he needs to have 2 burn spells in the hand. From what I see, it's very likely to have. So let's try to play the Traven Inspector first. I think it's better than keeping the Queller, because I think Queller will die to everything. Yeah, I'm unsubstantiated. I was thinking about that. This is actually cool. I can try gaining 4 life, survive for another turn. Yeah, this is actually a pretty good card in his deck, so yeah. And that's game. Thank you guys.